I have something today that I am both very excited about and a little weird. I got a present. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette, and it is a lovely, generous, and unreasonable gift from my boyfriend. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's pretty big too. Like, he was joking because he got it in the mail and got to look at it before me. He was like, "It's not that big. It's not that big. It's fine. It's fine. It's gorgeous." So, we had our 1-year monogamy anniversary 2 days ago, and he got me this because he's very sweet, and he does not know what makeup costs. So when I tell him a palette costs $130, he's like, "Okay, put it in your cart." And I'm like, that's an unreasonable price. That was supposed to be like a, oh, get scared about how expensive makeup is kind of reference, and then he bought it for me, and it's so pretty. To be fair, I was intending to buy this eventually. This was the first palette from her that was within the price range and had the right color tones to really get me. I've thought about getting her palettes, but they've all either been like the really, really big ones that are over $200, which that's a lot of money to spend on one product if you don't know you like the quality. And I looked at her 5-pan palettes, and nothing in particular spoke to me. There was a lot of options, so that might have been its downfall. If you offer me too many things, sometimes I can't figure out which combination of the 5 I want. And then they came out with the Sunset palette, and it was really, really warm, which is on trend and was really pretty, and it's on the maybe in the future sometime list. But I already have a bunch of warm tone palettes because we went through a warm tone kick because it's fall and everybody and their mother is releasing warm toned eyeshadow. And then they come up with this gorgeous, still expensive but smaller purchase, because I think this is $129, $130. And it's so cool toned, and it's a lot of colors I use consistently. And this girl right here, Dragon Bite, I am so excited for. So, this is what I have. I have some swatches. I have a demo. It is not actually my first impressions because he gave it to me on Friday and I wore it on Saturday because I wanted to wear it and we were going apple picking. So, yeah. It's very, very pretty. It's something I had intended to probably save up and buy eventually. And it was very sweet of him to get it for me earlier than I intended. So, if you want to see how this is going, comment down below if you've used any of her palettes, if you have any of the other ones, how you feel about the formula, because I'm so far really enjoying it. But if you've had this thing, I have heard people say you can wear it without a primer, and I'm very nervous to try that because I have oily lids. So as long as I have my primer on, everything's fine. It stays in place. Almost every eyeshadow will last all day and at least be like 90 to 80% still there. Most of them are just still there. But if I don't wear it, it goes on differently. It doesn't catch the same way on a primer, which makes sense because a primer is supposed to grab the color. So it blends differently, it applies differently, and I feel like my eyelids would just eat the color and it would be gone. So at some point I might be brave enough to try it, but I feel like I'd end up wasting my whole day on an eye look that I will most likely not get to wear all day. Anyway, so let's get into swatches and the rest of the video. Hi guys, so we're here to do the swatches of the Lila palette. So, I did already wear this once, and it was gorgeous. So far the only thing that's annoying me is this, but I also don't really want to cut it out because it's important. Since the name's on it, I just really wish she would have just put the names across the bottom. So we're just going to go across the top row, do Per Se, Viola, Amara, and Cyclone. And we're swatching on my face because I seem to like swatching on my face. So, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's pretty. And then we'll be doing Nude Vino, Layla, Amethyst, and Magnetic. That's really nice. Yep. That's really pretty. This is very pretty so far. Okay. And then we will have Magnolia, Nude Mauve, Juno, and Livid. Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, okay. Let's get some space. Yep. Yep. Those are all really pretty. And then the last three are Purpure, Dragon Bite, and Helio. Which, Dragon Bite, I wore yesterday, and it's so pretty. So, let's see where I have space. Yeah, here. Okay. Now I'll show you Dragon Bite in like a really cool spot. It's got that shift and Helio. So, these are the colors. They're very cool toned and pretty, sparkly. I'm very excited to put them on my face more. So, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Hi guys. So we are doing the demo of the Natasha Denona Lila palette. It's super, super pretty. I have worn it before, and I do have foundation, eyeshadow primer, and a light shadow from my creased brow bone. So let's just hop into it. I think I want to go in with Nude Mauve, and Amara, and some Magnolia. I think that's where I'm going with this. I think that's what's happening. So I did use Nude Mauve yesterday, because I have already used this palette. Yeah, sorry if you can hear people talking. They do not seem to pay attention to when I'm filming. But yeah, I really like this. It's a lot more mauve on the eyes than it is in the pan. It does blend out really nicely. I liked it yesterday too. So yeah, it's catching in a weird spot today, so I didn't do that yesterday. Could have just been that I didn't put my base down correctly. It'll be fine. It's just kind of the shape of my eyes some days. So let's do the other one. Because yeah, this looks really gray in the pan, but it's really mauve on the eyes, so who knows? I did know that going in. I had seen a couple demos and they'd talked about how the light to medium mattes were pretty different in application versus looking at them in the pan. So I kind of knew they were going to be a little different, a little deeper. Still so pretty. This is actually really close to a color I've mixed several things together to get. I like it every time. I just feel like it's a really good color. My eyes are a little puffy, that is the other thing. Which means my contacts are a little irritated, so everything's going great today. Great. Now, I had a really bad drink, and you know, sometimes it just messes up your whole day. So I'm going to go ahead and take Nude Mauve also under my eyes with the Luxie 231. Making sure to connect it with the outer section here. I don't know, it just seems to have this weird bump today. Sometimes my makeup just fights me though. Maybe we do need to go over it a little more. We'll see what happens. Kind of. Who knows? So, then we're going to go in with Amara. See, this thing. I already hate this thing, but I also don't want to get rid of it because it has the names on it. But yeah, this pretty one there. Oh, I touched it. Did I use this? I think I used that yesterday. Maybe I'll go in with Nude Vino instead. And just do that on the outer corner. And kind of start darkening up the crease. So it is a nice, like, reddy toned brown, which means it ties in nicely with the rest of this palette. Yes. When I was doing the swatches, I did realize that this was I just really liked how the colors are curated. Nothing really popped out as, why are you here? They all seem to go together really nicely. You know, sometimes you have like most of a palette that makes sense, and there's just two, or just sometimes one or two colors that just don't belong there, and you don't know why they're there, but somebody wanted to put them in there. And I think I'm going to add to it with Amara, slightly darker. Not sure how I feel about that. It's not the worst, it's just more red, less brown kind of thing. It'll work. Gotta do it on both eyes because I did it on one. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with this Pro Smoky Liner brush, and do I want to do both? I think I'm just gonna go in with Nude Vino on the lower outer section of my lash line. And then just blend it out a little bit. So weird that this eye is looking better in my opinion than this eye, because this eye is normally my problem eye. Okay. So then I would like to go in with Magnolia, this really pretty gold. I used Dragon Bite yesterday because I knew I was going to be mildly obsessed with that color, and it was gorgeous. But I thought I'd give you guys something a little bit different since I got the using Dragon Bite out of my system. That's nice. Oh, that's so cute. So cute. the other thing I'm noticing, which I also noticed yesterday, there's really no fallout. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, but there's no, like, I don't see anything on the rest of my face. I don't see any bits that got loose and went somewhere else. I kind of want to do a little bit of Cyclone right on the edge of that. We're going to try it. See what happens. Just to transition that color into the red a little bit more. Yeah? Yeah. Again, you wouldn't have expected kind of a coppery color in a mostly cool-toned palette, but it helps in getting it over to the mauvey red color. There's a point. I really like that, a little extra bit. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, so last thing I want to do is pop some Juno. I very well might end up cutting this out. I didn't intend to cut it out, but I think I'm gonna have to. I think I hate it. I think I like everything else except for this. But I'm gonna take some Juno, just pop that in my inner corner. It does diffuse out really nicely. I remember thinking that yesterday, being like, oh, you're more of like a sheen and less of a opaque color, which worked really well. Okay, so I think the eyes are mostly done. Yeah, I'm gonna go and finish the rest of my face and we'll be back. Just a little bit. Okay, this is the final look. I really like it. The lashes on this side fought me, so I like this eyeshadow better. I don't like these lashes. I like these lashes. I don't like that one bump. It angers me, but I'm not going to spend all day messing with it because most likely nobody else is going to notice that other than me, and I'm going to get over it. So far my opinion is this is really pretty, and I'm very happy to have it and super excited to explore it and the rest of the textures in this palette. It's just so pretty. It is very much colors that I will use. That had been my drawback from getting a bunch of the other Natasha Denona palettes, is either the original ones that got really popular on YouTube were those huge, like $200+ eyeshadows. They looked gorgeous, but A, that palette is huge, and B, even if it is per gram a good deal, getting that much money together at once to make one makeup purchase is hard. It's easier to buy smaller things more often and get, you know, oh, I want this color specifically, or oh, this one has this one shade I've been looking for, or this is a good staple to add to my collection, as opposed to saying, yes, that thing with 1,000,000 eyeshadows, over $200. That's what I'm going to do in 6 months when I've put aside enough money for it. Especially with how many things are coming out. I feel like the makeup industry has gotten a little crazy with all the launches, and especially with the access to social media and influencers, a lot more things are getting hyped than normal, or at least in the past. So you're seeing a lot more, and to avoid all of those for all that time to save up to that can be really hard. And then she started coming out with these still pretty expensive but smaller palettes, which it's not that small. Let me give you a size comparison. This is the Naked palette. So it's about a little smaller than 2 Naked palettes. And it's about, you know, the price of around 2 Naked palettes. So if you're buying that much volume, it's easier to set it aside long enough to get a smaller palette than the other ones. She also has smaller, like, 5-pan palettes. So that is something that this has fulfilled. And a lot of her palettes were either very color specific or warm. I don't know what it was about the Star palette. It didn't quite grab me, although I've been looking at it more and being like, you are really pretty. But the most recent one has been the Sunset palette, Sunrise Sunset palette. And it's really, really warm, and I already have a lot of really warm colors because everybody went warm tone crazy because it's fall. And I do like warm tones, but I most likely will wean off of warm tones faster than I will cool tones. I'm a cool toned face, and I wear a lot of cool tones, so if I don't know what I'm doing right now because it's fall and I'm in a warm tone kick, I'll grab a yellow. But most of the year, I will grab something like this crease color and just start building something out of that. So, smaller size, cooler tones, and just really pretty. So pretty. Just, it's so pretty. And yes, it's probably still a very unreasonable palette. It's probably not something most people are going to buy, but I'm happy to have it, and I'm happy to explore the textures and have it as a comparison to decide if this is really something that in the future is worth saving up to get the other palettes. If not. But currently, I like this. I have very nice feelings attached to it because it was a gift from my lovely boyfriend. And I'm going to keep playing with it. I'm really liking the looks. So, this is my finished face. Not quite first impressions. I am going to attempt to do a more detailed video on it. I'm going to try to use it for the next week or two and get a clip of each look to see the variety of looks I come up with, trying to stick to this palette or listing what I brought in, and then see how I feel about the formula after that time and give a more detailed review, because I am so bad about doing follow-up reviews on stuff like eyeshadow. Foundations and stuff like that, I'm getting better at. I'm going to do, once I finished it, reviews, but it's going to be so long for me to use this up. These are, 2.5 grams in each pan. So let's get a size comparison again. Let me pull out a single shadow. So this is, let's do this guy. This is the Lila palette, and this is Makeup Geek Early Bird. So this one, let's see, you are 1.8 grams. So it's more than a single-sized, single pan eyeshadow in each of them. And they're really pretty. I didn't need to use much. Yeah. You can't tell on most of them that I've even done anything with these shadows. Like, you can kind of tell I've moved it around to swatch it, but nothing. It's just pretty. It's so pretty. I'm just going to sit here telling it pretty for, ever. So, I am going to go about the rest of my day and keep an eye out for the video I will hopefully get up using it more often. Subscribing would be a good idea because I don't know when I'm going to be done with that video or when I'm going to post it. So you can subscribe and turn on post notifications, and it will tell you when I put up any video, and then you'll know if I put up this one. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.